Good evening, viewers. My name is Pretzle, and today we're playing Sid Meier's Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword. Continuing from where we last left off in our Snaky Continents Roosevelt game, I had just met the AI, and had circumnavigated the globe by buying a map. One of my favourite things to do in this game is circumnavigating the globe by buying a map. And to be fair, I would have lost the circumnavigation race had I not bought that map, because Bakar was already going over this way, and would have gotten over here before I had gotten a chance to see all of this continent. And presumably he already had a map over here, based on the fact he seems to get on fairly well with Mao. So now we're going to work on tech trading. We're going to plan on getting this presumably great merchant towards, I would guess, Rome, or maybe actually Mutal. I think that'll be the most effective thing to do. Of course, really, if I plan to send it to Mutal, it would be better to use this caravel, but actually saying that, how quickly would you be able to get here? Yeah, a great person wouldn't be able to move that far in one turn. One movement point, 2 movement points puts you on that tile. So yeah, no such luck there. I think I am probably better off moving this caravel this way, and then, well, then once I'm on this landmass I can scan all these cities for the best money output I can get. Possibly Mutal, maybe even Lakana? I don't know what bonuses you get from it being a capital. So that caravel can land there, no problem. These guys were chopping this forest to add some hammers to Los Angeles. Now this guy wants to... I do not know. I haven't the foggiest idea what this guy wants to do next. I guess build a road on that forest tile. Similarly build a road there. And now this caravel can move this way. This axe may as well stay here for now. And New York... Okay, that settler goes there and settles Portland. 1, so granary, forge, courthouse, library, market. Is that the order I want? I think so. Yep. Okay. And moving that worker was foolish.
Tell me what to do.
But I can still move that worker there and improve the tile. So no harm done really. So I did move that worker there explicitly to farm that rice, so I'm slightly annoyed now. But it takes 5 turns anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, I'm going to chop that forest to get that. Now this settler goes to that tile. Where else wants to build a settler? Washington can start on a settler in 2 turns, I think. That seems like a good idea. Let's get rid of that and move the chariots down there into the city so it has some defense going on. Meaning this chariot is no longer needed here, it is more of use in this sort of area. Now, Houston, what sort of improvements do you need? Houston, quite distinctly a production city, will require food down here at some point. Of course, really, the only thing you actually want is culture at this particular moment in time. So you are at 5 turns, so 8 turns away from having your borders expanding, so there's no point chopping these forests just yet. But I may as well road them up. And may as well build a road up here anyway. Doesn't do any harm. Oh, hello. Right. Those borders actually expand in 2 turns, so another poor play for me not checking that and verifying that I can start chopping that in 2 turns rather than in 8. Okay, so Chicago is actually unhealthy because of the forge and its overpopulation and its lack of health resources, apparently. Do all the other cities have aqueducts or something? No? Yes, really, I suppose. San Francisco is the exception, but San Francisco is settled on a river. So there's that. That explains that. Let's, yeah, New York recovers from its anger soon enough. And you don't want to be running an engineer, I don't think. You can afford to grow now, so I'll let you work that tile. Right, so what can we do in terms of tech trading? Not much until Stalin's willing to look at me. In terms of tech trade mind, let's give him a small donation. That doesn't bring him up to please, but that does give him a +1 towards me. So hopefully he'll like me soon enough. And be willing to trade with me. Pakal won't trade incense. Interesting. Mao adopts bureaucracy. Meaning Mao is either in anarchy or in a golden age. Okay, so one thing I noticed last session that I didn't comment on was the fact that I am not getting foreign trade. Now, one thing that came to mind between the episodes was that Pakal might be a mercantilism, but he isn't. So, since he does have astronomy, and we should be getting trade routes, I'm assuming that's because I don't have astronomy. And that's not something I was aware happened. So, that's nice. Okay, would building a road get me to settle that any sooner? No, it would not. I don't think. 1 movement, 2 movement. Yeah, that's going to be the same, whatever. Okay, cool. Nope.
Awaiting your orders. All present and accounted for.
So
Yes.
what does this worker therefore want to do? Move there, I guess. You may as well build a road now that you're on there.
Awaiting your orders.
Increasing how quickly that is done isn't going to change much now. Now that forest I do want to preserve until I get up there, into that city. And I don't think I really want that city built until I can get culture happening from the get-go by researching, no, by having access to mercantilism and the one free specialist that provides. Except it has to be of a specialist that you have the buildings for, so I can't do that unless I'm in caste system. And I don't really want to switch out of slavery, so yeah, that was a dumb thing to mention. In which case I don't want to build that until I have music. And now well... Has anyone researched music yet? Is there any way I can tell? What does music allow? Yeah, music allows military tradition, but no one has nationalism yet. So the only way I can really tell if anyone's got music yet is if I can tell if any great artists have been born. Oh wait, no, Pakal is the Sistine Chapel, which requires music. So yeah, Pakal got the great artist from music, I would presume. I do really hope it is a great merchant I get from that. That would be so much more useful than a great scientist at this point. Okay, Bakal will trade printing press. What's he researching now? Scientific method? Oh, I suppose he does have astronomy. Astronomy and... That's a weird thing to go for like that. Does Bakal have the Great Library or something? Parthenon's obsolete with Symeth. Great Library's obsolete with Symeth. Stonehenge obsoleted with astronomy. And oh, that's something you don't often see. You can see what city these things were built in, but not the Civ, because I haven't met the Civ yet. So, yeah. Also, one thing I noticed whilst I was looking at the map between episodes was Ragnar over here, of the Viking Empire, attacked, or is fighting, Suryavarman of the Khmer Empire, and took this city. This was at 3 turns until pacification earlier on. Now it's at 1 turn. So this is updating, as I expected it would be. And this was recently taken. These are not Viking names, these are Khmer names. So, yeah, that confirms that. A couple other interesting things. The founder of Judaism, who therefore is the founder of... the founder of Judaism was Pakal in Lakama. He also, as you can see here, founded Hinduism. That was in his capital, Mutal. So I would expect Lakama was his second city. Now, Mutal has a lot of food. There's 5 food tiles within the city radius, one of which can be shared with Lakama, one of which can be shared with Kalikmu. So that's a very food-heavy start, on top of the freshwater lake and the 3 quite nice hills, one of which riverside. That's a bit of a cheesy start, but not nearly as cheesy as the fact there are 3 gems tiles up here. Now, personally, I think I would have settled that, and then that, but, I don't know. Oh, no, I definitely would have settled there to try and claim the fish, even though that's currently in Russian cultural borders. That I would expect is a fairly new city, then. Yeah, so there's that fish that Mayapan can work, plus the 2 gems tiles, plus the dye tile, plus until Zukpi got that banana tile, it could work that as well. And then there's Oxhwitzer, which has the clam tile, plus the gems tile, plus the corn tile. Flat grass gems is one of the best tiles in the game. Basically the only thing that would have made this better would it be in Riverside. Which, obviously it is not, and thank goodness it isn't. Because seriously, Pakal, financial leader, does not need to be any more powerful than he already is. This didn't click before when I realised I was receiving gems in a trade from him. But that was definitely the correct decision to get the gems trade going. So how long until that settler gets there? It can settle next turn, meaning I can start shopping with this worker. There's no harm in letting that continue. See, the only purpose this caravel really serves is meeting Surrey Barnum. Trade proposal. Ah, hello, someone I can trade text with. Good. Right, you are allowed to have optics in return for aesthetics, priesthood and poly. And on top of that you'll give me archery and 30 gold. How about instead of that, horseback riding? Nah. Okay, what would make this deal work? Archery and 30 gold. Sounds good. How about that? Still value horseback riding over that. Okay, well, no harm done. I will take those. I'd rather have that. That gold gives me an extra turn to run 100% research. Full text, that obviously boosts my score on the map, and puts me closer to tech parity, which is where I need to be. Now I'm kind of really hoping Stalin will look to trade soon. Seeing as, you know, he has horseback riding and engineering, which are things I want. But the big thing I want is philosophy. So really I need something that either China or yeah, something to trade to something that Maya has, or that something that China needs or Maya needs that they don't have yet, regardless of how much is there. Now Bakal doesn't want to trade anymore. What's up with that? We fear you are becoming too advanced. Fuck you. That is a terrible modifier. That happens when you receive, or when the game decides you have received too much in the way of tech via trading. And it is one of the dumbest features in the game. Basically the only worse features are things like global warming, which is more effective by nukes than by coal plants and factories. You know, things that historically have caused global warming. And also just the mere implementation that global warming has. It just magically turns tiles into desert. I'm sure we'll see it later in the game. It's a pretty horrendous feature. That was a one-pop whip. Okay, how about we build the settler, because I'd rather not grow above the health thing. Can I... Yeah, I'd like to claim that rice for thingy over here. That reduces how much time I'm spending building the settler. Oh, the city's getting big now. 2-pop whip on the courthouse, please. And that gets some good overflow for the library.
Awaiting your orders. Reporting.
Now based on the fact that Pakal has astronomy, I'm thinking I'm going to want some cities up here sooner rather than later. Now... so I don't have a city spot lined up for this mess. There's like a belt over here where there aren't going to be any cities. Honestly, the best city tile is this one that I raised. Or maybe this one to get access to the lake and shit. In fact, yes, this one would be pretty good. If I do settle this city up here, that allows me to just funnily workboat through the lake and up here. That does have a lot of overlap tiles. That's not the end of the world. In fact, that's probably a good thing, given that this city in particular is going to be absolutely shocking, and these two cities aren't going to be great. They're just there to claim the resources and do something with the surrounding tiles. There's no reason up here to claim a city because there are no resources. And the same is true up here. And I suppose it's possible there's resources up here. I'll give that a look, actually, since that's not something I've checked yet. Well, regardless, let's also work on another settler whilst I'm building that one in Chicago. So that's in 2 turns you grow. Boston also grows in 2 turns. So I may as well let it grow, right? Don't want growth to freeze. Or, yeah, San Francisco can start work on a settler next turn. No harm done there. In fact, that's ideal, really. Okay, so I'll remember to change that. Los Angeles, however, still needs to grow. Yeah. Okay, so end turn. Great merchant, great merchant, great merchant, great merchant, great merchant. Come on. Hinduism has spread to our cities, nothing but superstition. Great merchant, success. Okay, you load onto the caravel, then the caravel moves over this way. Adam Smith, founder of capitalism, right? Can't believe Pakal's going for scientific method. What's up with that? Right, Ragnar gets a great engineer, even though I don't know who Ragnar is. And I know who Ragnar is historically, of course. That's I've like played Crusader Kings 2 and shit like that. I've studied the Vikings. I'm a qualified historian because I've played Crusader Kings 2 and Civilization 4. That's how it works, right? 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 Okay, so this settler can settle here. Yes, I know you want to recommend I build on the hill, but no. Okay, now chop that and get rid of that on the dot map. And then San Francisco has grown, so you can work on a settler and then continue building wealth.
Awaiting your orders. Your orders. Tell me what to do.
You can now help them build a farm, and you can chop that forest. This chariot can stay in place. That forest can be chopped. That forest must not be chopped until that city's built. That city, on the other hand, or that forest, on the other hand, I want to start chopping, because these borders will expand next turn. In onto that tile, and Los Angeles will claim that tile, and therefore can get the increased benefit out of the chop, rather than getting, oh no, Oh, it does get 20 hammers even though it's outside the borders. Okay, I did not realise that. I assumed it got fewer until the borders expanded. That is my ignorance at fault there. No matter. This is a Chinese city, well, a barbarian city that the Chinese took based on the name Chinook. That is, from my understanding, a name of a barbarian city that can generate. Funny place for Neapolis, just outside the Great Wall. Good job, Rome. Good job. Yeah, Rome. Rome are the ones who built the Apostolic Palace, which is, if I recall correctly, Jewish. Yeah, Apostolic Palace Judaism. And they founded Christianity. I want to say that's somewhat ironic for Rome, adopting Judaism and then founding Christianity. But, I don't know. I do not know. But Hinduism seems to be the religion that's united half of this continent, between Suryavarman, Pakal, and Stalin over here. So maybe adopting Hinduism wouldn't be a bad idea. Regardless, I don't want to make enemies by switching my religion to something that other people don't like. Where the hell did Axe... Really? Okay, interesting. Mao has completed the University of Sankor. Great. That's nice. I wasn't going for the University of Sankor, so I don't really care. But that's good to know. Alright, now I want a farm here. Because being a production city with only one food resource, Houston needs more farms. Needs to get some irrigation going. And if I had enough, and on top of that, oh no. The rice farm on Portland is irrigated by the lake through the city, so that's handy. Is there anything else I want to do with anyone? Atlanta... No. Seattle can whip its market. Is that something I want to do? Yes. Los Angeles can whip its library for 2 population. Similarly, I want it to do that, yes. No one else has a 2-pop whip available. San Francisco and Chicago both have 3-pop whips on the settlers. That becomes a 2-pop whip next turn in Chicago, and a 2-pop whip... When is that? Is that next turn as well? Probably next turn. Yeah, a 2-pop whip on the settler next turn as well, which I might do. That's very tempting. So I think I'll play one more turn before I finish the video here. So, and turn. Seattle has become healthy. Good for Seattle. So, going around here and then that way. Build a farm. Now, what's the whipping situation looking like on these settlers? Yep, 2-pop whip. For 30 hammers per whip. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That is what I want. Okay. And then the same for San Francisco. Absolutely. May as well take advantage of that. I'm in slavery for now. I have cheap courthouses, so I can expand more quickly, and I'm about to get a windfall of cash from this great merchant being sent to the other continent, which is incredibly convenient. So I'm going to drop him off in Rome, or maybe Ravenna, and we'll see how things go from there. This worker, what do I do with you? Okay, so I do get plus 20 hours. I was, that's why. Yeah. Because I don't actually want that. Because it's plus 30 hammers for being in the cultural borders, so I was correct. Good. LA's borders will expand soonish. Right, now build a mine there, because Los Angeles desperately needs some production, and it's not getting it. And I'd rather it work that mine than that mine, because of the extra commerce. Now St. Louis, or San Louis. St. Louis. That wants to be... at this point in the game I may as well workshop it, but we do have those tiles already done, so I may as well build cottages on the grassland, really. So get some production in Portland from the chops. Don't know where we're going next with the settler, though. This city looks like it might be quite good. So once you've chopped that, I am going to queue you to move up there, and should be chopped before anything else comes, before the settler comes along, I think.
What's the plan?
And then once you're done with the cottage, then we can get some roads going. Now that worker... yeah, so next cities I build are this one for the cow, and this one up here, which will take advantage of the lake. With the lighthouse, the lake will give 3 food tiles instead of 2 food tiles, which is quite handy. So that's how I'll feed that city, at least for now. That is much preferable to most other things, I would say. Of course, with that in mind, let's road near it. I don't know why I'm bothering to explore this fog here. It's not going to get me anywhere, but I suppose there's no harm in it. So, any whips that can be done. Atlanta can one-pop whip this. What is this? A harbour. But it's only got 1 turn left in it, so that is completely redundant. It would give me 37 hammers overflow for a sacrifice of 1 population, giving me +1 anger for forever. When the city grows slow enough as it is, because its only food tile is that 3 food thing there. That is not desirable, in the slightest. So what cities are lacking which buildings? Did I seriously settle a city called Portland inland? Well, I suppose you can have a port on a lake, but that seems a little redundant. So I'm curious about one thing. should I switch into bureaucracy when I do my eventual civic swap? Or into free speech? Because free speech gives +2 commerce with every town you have. Bureaucracy gives +50% production and +50% commerce in the capital. Further distinctions are free speech is lower civic upkeep, which is a difference of 3 wealth per turn, and free speech giving +100% research in all culture in all cities, which is somewhat useful. So, to figure that out, Washington, which is our capital, would gain an extra 9 commerce and 6 production. And would that change at any point? Might get a bit more commerce, but not much more in the way of production. Whereas statistics improvements, if we look at how many towns, we have 2 towns, so that's instant 4 commerce, and then villages, when they eventually mature, and I'm assuming there's not much longer left on any of them, that would give a further 12. So that's an effective... yeah, an effective 20 commerce. No, what? No, 16 commerce, what am I doing? There's also a few hamlets and a few cottages, so... yeah, that's also going to be quite nice. So what I'm fully expecting is that free speech is a better civic to switch into. 2 turns till town, 7 turns till town, 16 turns till town, and it'll take me that long to get to liberalism. 15 turns till town. 39 turns till town. Why is that tile not being worked? Because I whipped off them, is that it? Does San Francisco want to work those? Yes. Yep, that is a more desirable thing to do, absolutely. Take that back to Chicago. So, as established, next 2 cities we settle will be this one for the cow, and this one up here for the lake. At which point we will be a pretty sprawling empire with 14 cities. We can quite safely settle 2 more here, 2 more here. These 3 up here, and then these 2 here. What might be a challenge is settling these 2 here, and something on this island. I don't know if that's even going to be worthwhile, but who knows, might be worth looking into, even if just to deny anyone else from settling them. Now there's this island here, don't know how useful that'll be, but that's something we'll have to look at in time. And once again I've run into 40 minutes when I aim for 30-minute videos, so sorry about that. Regardless, I hope you've enjoyed my rambling. Thank you for watching. I have been, and shall continue to be, Pretzle. If you liked the video, please like the video, and feel free to stick around for more. In the meantime, enjoy the music, and don't forget to be awesome.